Hi guys, I'm going to be simplifying my videos a little bit, less slides, less flash, and less loud noises, and a little bit more actual content so I can get these out a little bit quicker, a little bit more often. I wanted to continue on my solving problems simply idea that I started last video with the tweaking your life video, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why we have bad habits. Now, I believe that bad habits are caused because certain habits solve and fulfill certain needs that we all have as people. So when we want to fix a bad habit, we need to ask ourselves, which of our needs does your bad habit fulfill? Is it a need for comfort? Is it a need for variety? There's a number of human needs, and I'll go into a few of them as we go on through the video series, but the first ones I want to talk about are comfort and variety. Now, some of this is kind of taken from some reading I've been doing lately in the Anthony Robbins books. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but he's got some really good insights. And I've decided that I would present the information, and I'm going to change it up a little bit to suit more what I consider to be reality, because not all of it, I think, applies to real people. But I believe everybody has two basic human needs, and one is for comfort and one is for variety. We want to be sure that we can get away from pain and to find pleasure. Now, this is a very base driving force. I think that's the cause of a lot of things like drinking and smoking and so on, is that we want to be able to know that we can light that cigarette, take a puff, and know that we're going to be comforted in that moment. Now, personally, I've struggled with smoking for a long time, and it's something I really want to quit. And I've had to determine what needs that it fulfilled in me, and definitely it turned out to be a comfort need. Now, there's other ways to find comfort, and one of the key things to remember when you're trying to attack a bad habit is that if you simply try to stop the bad habit, you're going to fail. The most effective way to kill a bad habit is to replace it with something positive that will be good for you. So in my case, I could try chewing bubble gum, doing several things, exercising, anything to replace the relief that I want to get from cigarettes. Instead, I can burn that energy off in a creative and constructive fashion, and it will move me forward as a person while at the same time distracting me from the bad habit while I'm trying to break it. A lot of people go off and try to go almost like on a fast where they just break off the bad habit and they don't do anything to replace it. But the fact of the matter is we have a human need for being comforted, and if we don't fulfill that need, our mind will push us in the direction of fulfilling that need. So if your mind has been programmed for the last several years to smoke or to overeat for comfort or anything like that, then just quitting's not going to be enough, because your mind will push you back towards that temptation. It'll push you back towards what it knows to fulfill that human need. Another human need that we have is the need for variety, and that is true in everybody's life. That if things get too boring, you tend to get stale, and if nothing exciting happens, you tend to lose motivation and hope. You tend to lose your drive. Personally, I've never been big on surprises. I don't like surprises. I'm a big planner. I'm a control freak. It's hard for me to accept the fact that I need variety in my life. But I'm going to tell you right now that cabin fever affects everybody. I have gotten cabin fever so bad in the last 6 months that it drove me nearly insane, and I ended up depressed. And all it took was getting out, changing things up a little bit, and I started to feel better. So I would encourage you to remember that a routine is a wonderful thing to get you going, and it's a wonderful thing to move forward. But every now and then you need to take a break from that routine, and you need to do something completely and totally different from your normal pattern. The reason why is because your brain refreshes itself during this period. It gives it new stimulus, which will help keep the engines running. If you don't keep those engines running and you don't keep your mind stimulated, you'll get bored, you'll get rusty, and eventually you'll be a walking dead. You'll be just asleep while you're walking. So I hope this look into the human needs will help you identify and solve some of your bad habits that you want to crush. It's not as simple as simply stopping. You need to replace it with something else. And don't forget that if you want to operate at peak performance and you want to live a truly fulfilled life, you also need some variety in your life. Don't get stuck too much into time management. Don't get stuck too much into the routine. Remember to stop and have fun. Remember to smell the roses. Until next time, when we go over the next two needs, peace.